Hi everybody, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Welcome to your San Francisco 49ers post-game recap here at the Arena Sportsnet Bay Area studios in San Francisco on Niners Radio. San Francisco 49ers falling to the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 25-20 as the Niners were did in. They had three turnovers in the contest, and Nick Mullins really didn't play that well at all back. And let's just take a recap of the game, how it started off in the first quarter. Carson Wentz on an 11-yard quarterback keeper and a 2-point conversion as he connected with former Stanford star Bay Area native Zach Ertz, and it gave the Eagles an 8-0 lead. It was 9 plays, 351 mark. Then it was Brandon Ayuk with a 38-yard sweep with a vertical leap, giving shades of Niners Ronaldo Nehemiah, who played for the 49ers back in the early 80s, on a touchdown play. It was 6 plays, 75 yards thick, and with the extra point, it was 8-7 in favor of the Eagles. Both teams did not score in the second quarter. In the third quarter, in the second half, Nick Mullins connected with George Kittle for a touchdown, and the Niners took a 14-8 lead. The Eagles then on a Jason Elliott field goal that ended up, and they accumulated on a 15-play drive, which took up 8 minutes and 20 seconds, and they cut their lead within 3. The Niners still had the upper hand, 14-11. In the fourth quarter, Wentz connected with Travis Fulgham on the 42-yard touchdown pass, and Dante Johnson just got totally torched, got burnt on the play, and the Eagles used up 8 plays, 9 minutes, 58 seconds. That gave them an 18-14 lead. Then Mullins threw that pass to Alexander Singleton for a pick six, 42-yard interception return for a touchdown that gave the Eagles the win. The Niners did come back. C.J. Beathard make his first appearance, was active as McKinnon had a 1-yard touchdown run, a 2-point conversion failed. It was that turned out to be 25-20 Eagles over your San Francisco 49ers. Let's give you the final of the stats of the game. The Niners really pretty much out dominated statistically. I mean, they ended up getting 418 total net yards to only the Eagles 259. Niners 302 yards passing to the Eagles 174. Niners 116 rushing yards to the Eagles 85. But 3 critical turnovers were the difference of the game. Nick Mullins was sacked 5 times in the game, and damaging penalties 6 times. The Niners were penalized 6 times for 42 yards to the Eagles 3 times for 25. Niners won the time of possession 30 minutes and 31 seconds to the Eagles 29 minutes and 29 seconds. Final numbers: Carson Wentz 18 out of 28 for the Eagles, 193 yards passing. He ran another 7 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. He had two touchdowns. He had a total of, he ended up having over 100 plus yards all purpose. Travis Fulgham 2 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Nick Mullins 18 out of 26 for 200 yards, a touchdown, but he threw 2 interceptions. Jerick McKinnon had 14 carries for 54 yards. And then George Kittle 15 catches for 183 yards in the game, and Brandon Ayuk had that 38-yard touchdown run. And then the Niners also, more bad news. Ziggy Arnash suffered a torn biceps in the game. He left with, according to multiple reports, torn biceps, triceps, and we'll get more on that later during Kyle Shanahan's press conference on Monday. Looks likely Arnish will be done for the season as the injuries have just continued to rack up for San Francisco. So With the loss, Niners drop their record to 2-2. The Eagles pick up their first win of 2020. They go to 1-2-1, and they now have sole possession of first place in the NFC East. The Niners with a 2-2 record now trail the red-hot Seattle Seahawks by 2 full games in the ultra-competitive NFC West. They're 2 games behind. The Seahawks are now 4-0. The Rams, with their win over the Giants on Sunday, they're now 3-1. The Niners trail the Rams by a game. They come to the Mecca to play the Niners for Sunday Night Football on NBC 2 weeks from tonight. Then the Niners are tied for third with the Arizona Cardinals. Remember, the Cardinals have already beaten them back 3 weeks ago, and they right now would have the tiebreaker edge. So the Niners just have to weather the storm with all the injuries and try to get players back. And this is just one of those things. It's just so tough after going to the Super Bowl, and with all the injuries, it's just going to be just as tough. So the Niners are going to have to try to weather the storm and get people back. The next game for the Niners will be 1 week from today. They'll take on the Miami Dolphins in an interconference matchup, a rematch, of course, of Super Bowl 19. Niners and Dolphins. The Dolphins will be making their first ever trip to the Mecca at Levis Stadium, their first trip to the Bay Area in 8 years. Kickoff time will be 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be on Fox. And then the Niners will be back on Sunday Night Football at the Mecca 2 weeks from tonight when they take on the Los Angeles Rams. So the Niners were going to have to just weather the storm with all these injuries, and you have to play better if they're going to have a chance to get back into staying this stretch of the playoffs. So, for the latest on 49ers news and so much more, go to 49ers.com. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis, and so long. Once again, the final score. Niners fall to the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Eagles 25, your San Francisco 49ers 20. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis for Niners post-game recap on Niners Radio. Niners Radio is an association with the Arena Sportsnet Bay Area. 49ers football, faithful then, faithful now, and forever faithful by the Bay.